Welcome everyone to tonight's workshop and regular meeting. This meeting is being held in conformance with the Open Public Meetings Act. Notice we given to the newspaper of records, posted in the municipal building, and filed with the township clerk. The next open public meeting of this township council will be held on Thursday, March 20th, 2025 at 7:30 p.m. Madam Clerk, can we have a roll call, please?
Councilman Cannon. Councilman Hirsch.
Here.
Councilwoman Kelly.
Here.
Councilman Martucci.
Yes.
Councilman Swindell.
Here.
Deputy Mayor Montal. Here. Mayor Taylor Reed.
Here, thank you so very much. Tonight, we're honored to have a special guest with us, and I'm going to wait 1 minute so that we can let the record show that Councilman Cannon is present. And I'll continue with my introduction. We're honored tonight to have the president of the Matawan Aberdeen Chamber of Commerce, along with Linda Martin from the Chamber of Commerce. Are you also from the Chamber of Commerce? And your name?
Alan Allen.
It's a pleasure to have you. Michael is doing something for the first time that we think was a great idea. He offered to come to us tonight and basically tell us what's going on with the Chamber. We're happy to tell you that Aberdeen Township is a member of the Chamber of Commerce. Now, Michael, prior to me introducing you, promised to keep it under 99 minutes. Okay, your remarks. And I give you the floor now. You can come up to the podium and tell us what's on your mind.
Sure.
It's a pleasure to have you.
I'll be under 99 minutes, don't worry. Well, first I want to thank you for having me here tonight, Mayor, Council. I've been a member of the Chamber of Commerce since 2001 is when I joined, so it's been 24 years. I've been a board member, I was the treasurer for 7 years, and now as of January 1, I took over as the president of the Chamber. And with speaking with Linda and some of my board members, I said, we work so closely, with Mayor Fred and our ribbon cuttings and our new businesses, and have we ever been to the township to do a state of the Chamber and let everybody know what it is that we are doing other than those things? And that's why I'm here today. So I wanted to share, some statistics with you and some information, and we'll kind of go from there. So the Matawan Aberdeen Chamber of Commerce was actually formed 57 years ago. It's been around a tremendous amount of time that it's operated. And this year we have, for the first time, probably the most diverse and new board that we've seen in years. We've had a lot of new membership and new blood step up. We're made up of 198 member businesses here between Matawan and Aberdeen, which I can tell you for a local Chamber of Commerce is remarkable. You have the larger ones like Monmouth Regional that are huge, and they look at us here in Matawan and Aberdeen and they say to us, how are you guys doing it? Because we are so strong. But just like with the businesses here in Aberdeen, we have a very, very good and strong business community, as well as all of you up there that, really advocate, which is very important. We're made up of several committees that help us run. We have events committees, membership committee, a finance committee, a marketing committee, a social media website, and now we have a new app that we're going to be launching on our phones that's going to get information out to our members as well. We do our ribbon cuttings, with our mayors and council, which is huge and a great thing for the local businesses when they're starting out. For the first time this year, it was spearheaded by Alan, who was sitting with me. He's our vice president. He hosted back in January a board of director kickoff party that was at Corchester, and it got our board together just to brainstorm and look to the future and what we wanted to do. And some of the things that we want to really work on as a board are establishing and demonstrating continued value in Aberdeen, advocacy, community engagement, business development, that's always a big one, economic growth and sustainability, develop business relations, and most importantly, metrics and accountability. It's something that's been really lacking because we have great people, but even with our website and some of those things, we don't know who's visiting, how many visitors, how long are they staying, what can we do to really make our businesses get a lot of value and a lot of exposure out there. I'm also proud to announce that on June 12th, we have our awards dinner that's held annually, and we do that at MJ's Buttonwood. That's where we install our new officers and we give out awards to the local businesses. I was told by Linda this year that as president, I have the ability to give out the President's Special Recognition Award. That comes from me. And I'm proud to announce here for the first time that that award is going to be given to Mayor Fred Tagliarini at the awards dinner, who...
Thank you, Michael.
You're welcome. And, we talked at the ribbon cutting at the pickleball headquarters, and he graciously accepted. But again, the whole time I've been with the chamber, nearly the whole time, Mayor Fred has been a big advocate for us, and he's very deserving. So I look forward to that, as well as me being installed. So we got two things to celebrate. Also, the Spirit of Aberdeen Award gets presented from the mayor and council. So you do have your own award that you have the ability to give out. So definitely let Linda know about that. The benefits that we provide, just some of them, and I'll be brief. We give them the opportunity for advanced advertisement via social spotlights on our websites. There's networking opportunities, advocating for the business community via the membership in the New Jersey Chamber Alliance, which is very important. Notices of grants and legislation via our association with NJBAC, the New Jersey Business Action Center. Also the New Jersey Chamber of Commerce and the U.S. Chamber of Commerce. So we share this information with our members. One of the examples of what we've been doing recently is SBDC&J at Brookdale, America's Small Business Development Center, which offers free assistance to businesses in preparing and filing the required documentation for the Corporate Transparency Act. So we hooked up a lot of our members with them because, again, they're getting, free information and training directly from Brookdale, which they wouldn't be made aware of. So, and then our county, Monmouth County, they're great with supporting small businesses, and I've been to several events in the last couple of weeks that they've hosted to promote as well. So, we're proud of what we do. We thank you again. In closing, I'm going to let Alan just step forward because Alan has been a big advocate on the side of working more with the communities and the mayor and council, and he wanted to share some information. So, thank you.
Michael, thank you so very much for joining us tonight. And I'll be contacting you, or Linda, or all of you at Pickleball, the opening Pickleball. Monmouth Road, Representative John Chifulo was there.
Yes.
And he says he wants to become more active in helping us with vacancies in businesses and talking about Monmouth County and the towns in particular. So I'll share all that with you. Maybe we can meet with John and Ryan and some other council folk to help fill some of our vacancies that we have. So,
Yep.
And you touched on it very well. Monmouth County is a great partner to have, and let's use that.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. And welcome.
Thank you. Good afternoon, or good evening, everyone. My name is Alan Now, Dr. Alan Now. I'm a registered pharmacist, neighboring resident in Morganville, as well as Mike's right-hand man of the Vice President of the Chamber of Commerce, new this year. So for those of you that I haven't met personally, I'm also the CEO and founder of Vigor Dispensary. We're an adult use cannabis dispensary opening on Route 34 in the next couple of months. Today I wanted to really piggyback off of Mike's presentation about the highlights of the chamber and just share some insights into my family's personal journey into becoming a business owner in this community. And also introduce a couple of ideas of how we can all kind of collectively work together to further the economic stability of both townships. So I made it my mission last year to get involved as a board member of the chamber because I wanted to support not only local existing businesses, but new entrepreneurs like myself who want to invest their time, money, and energy into our communities. I lived in New Jersey my entire life, and I know that Madawan and Aberdeen are a hub for small family-owned businesses like ours. Businesses that create jobs, they provide essential services, and contribute to the unique character and color of our communities. And also people who are ready and willing to give back. I am not operational yet, but I've participated in Madawan Day for the last 3 years, openly buying a table, connecting with community members. And we encourage our members to do the same, to get involved, get active, and have a voice. So as it stands, the current process for sustaining, improving, and primarily opening a business, I think it can be improved. Some immediate examples that come top of mind include complex permitting requirements, prolonged times to get introduced on meeting agendas, as well as even uncertain timelines for permitting and inspection. All of these that contribute to kind of uncertainty with a lot of business owners without a solid understanding of timelines of how to proceed efficiently, and also even how much working capital they really need to get started with. So here are some ideas for a proactive partnership with the town. And again, we're using the chamber as a resource, as a tool to work alongside you guys as local officials to further the business climate of the community. So number one, create a small business resource hub. Our remarkable director, Linda Martin, has assembled a pamphlet for new business owners detailing, the FAQs as well as the highlights of who to contact. But perhaps having a designated go-to person in the Borough Hall that can answer questions, that can navigate step-by-step of things like permits, licensing, and really establishing fees of structures to help businesses navigate the startup process. Number two would be open and maintain a direct line of communication with the townships and the borough administrators specifically. Mr. Ryan Michelson has been very helpful throughout this whole process in Madawan, and I'm sure Mr. Russell here works incredibly hard to keep things moving. And we just want to reemphasize to use the chamber as a tool to work alongside for the greater economic health of not only our chamber members, but the business communities and you guys as well. So having access to an open direct channel to push dialogue through in a meaningful manner, a direct line of communication, that would be very valuable for new businesses that are unsure of how to proceed through the township. And lastly, just something that is a fast-track local lane for family-owned operators. So something like implementing a more efficient approval process for small businesses that may have less than 15 employees. Put top of mind again, reduce bureaucratic delays by including priority for issuing permits, as well as expediting on-site requests, inspection requests. So these small things would have allowed our business to pretty much open sooner than later. And I just want to impart some of my experience onto you guys so that we understand and we can help the next generation of business owners in our community. And lastly, to summarize, we know that when businesses get online and thrive, our entire community thrives. More jobs, stronger local investment, and a more vibrant economy. So the Chamber would love to work closer together with the local government of Aberdeen, and so to ensure places like Pickleball HQ, who just became the new member, can succeed on day one, but also to support places like Port Jester, who have been around here for 30 plus years in the community. So thank you for your time. I look forward to collaborating to bring this vision to life.
Thank you very much for you reminded me when you mentioned Madawan Day that I'd like to publicly thank the Chamber's sponsorship for Aberdeen Day. So we were very busy between those two special days, and we thank you for your support. I'd like to thank you both for the three of you, four of you, to stop by tonight and shed some light on the Chamber. And we look forward to seeing you on June 12th. Very nice. Thank you so much. Relax, sit if you need, if you like, whatever. Very welcome here. Good, very good. Okay, moving right along here in the workshop agenda. I'm going to turn it over to Mr. Russell to walk us through the agenda tonight.
All right, thank you, Mayor. Just to piggyback off of the chamber and some of the comments, I will have to say though, our construction department, we see hundreds of permits probably come through every month or so. But they work very hard what they're doing. They work within the timelines that the state gives us on UCC. And we are allocating more funds so we can start going more electronic, because those are now state mandates that are coming down from the department or the DCA, and we're starting to move that way. So again, I think the department runs very efficiently. We are doing both towns, and as time goes on, I think everything between local and state levels, we're starting to see that things need to change We're actually getting prepared to start putting electronics into the vehicle so they can actually do things right at the site of who they're meeting with at the resident or commercial property. So then it comes right back here, so the paperwork can actually be transcribed ahead of time and not wait until the inspector goes back after they do all their inspections to go back in the afternoon. And then for council members, we're in a soft opening right now. And the director actually was supposed to be here today, but she actually got sick, so I said, please don't come, because we're trying to, we have a little bit of a sick problem in town hall right now, and we're trying to make sure nobody else gets it, but we are actually starting Saturday hours for inspections. The construction official is now working on Saturday, up to his full day, and our plumbing inspector is now working. We have a new plumbing inspector, he's now working on Saturday, so we can try to work with getting some of our residents scheduled for weekends when they're home, instead of taking days off if need be, but it's one extra day that we're trying to have staff here to take care of residents for both residential and commercial. Going forward, before we go into the actual agenda, just some comments between myself and some others. I do have some department heads here. Keith, if you want to just give a little, I actually will piggyback off of you, but if you want to just give a little update of what's going on tomorrow, and then I know I have a couple other events I think you guys have coming up as well, so if you want to just explain tomorrow about the health fair.
Sure, we have our health fair tomorrow at the community center, 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. We have 20 vendors, so the building is going to be full. We are transporting any seniors that might be at the senior center over to the community center tomorrow the entire time that the event is going on. So we're looking forward to that tomorrow, and we're expecting a nice turnout. So if everybody's around, please come by to the community center, 10 to 1 health fair.
And again, this is our second, at least under this administration, this is our second health fair. We did have one last year. It was a good turnout, just we weren't crazy about the location, so we moved it back over to the community center, so it's more centrally located. 17 plus, right, vendors?
There's 20.
20 now, yeah, so we're at max for what we could fit in the center, plus anyone that wants to come. And we are allowing staff members to go over too during their lunch breaks to go as well. Just a couple of things. I saw Brittany later on in the day. She wanted me to just go over, give up little updates on a few other things. So I'm not stealing your thunder. It's just last minute that she brought it up. Starting March 7th through the 18th is the Leprechaun Lookout Hunt for Finnegan. And that is Finnegan will be hiding in 10 township parks holding 10 Irish words, and it's your job to find him and collect them. We will supply you with the clue sheets that will help you navigate around town, and once you find them and collect all 10 words, you can bring them to the recreation office to claim your pot of gold. So this is a pre-registered but not required event, but it does help us out knowing who's out there looking. So you can go on our website and take a look at that, but that is from March 7th to 18th. Also, for this from our senior center, 55 and over bus trip to the Staten, New York for the St. Patrick's Festival from Ireland to America. Of course, I know. I'll be on the bus with John. Tuesday, March 11th. This is Tuesday night. Please meet 10:30 at the Temple Shalom parking lot at 5 Aramont Lane, and then arriving time home is approximately 4:30 p.m. And residents can still register. We still have a couple. We still have spots available for that. And this is registration required. It's $68 for residents, $82 for non-residents. Lunch is included, and a 1-hour open bar. And choice of corned beef and cabbage, or chicken marsala or salmon. She told me how to read everything verbatim. Sticking with our pickleball, we have pickleball instruction for kids ages 8 through 13, Sunday, March 30th, from 11 a.m. to 12 p.m., ages 8 through 10, and then 12:30 to 1:30, ages 11 to 13. And this is actually at the indoors at our community center over in Clifford Beach. And that is $7 for a session for residents and $9 for non-residents. So, and then this also is registration is required, so you can sign up on our website for that. And then another travel event that we're doing is Harry Potter and the Cursed Child. Thursday, April 17th at the Lyric Theater in New York City. This is another bus trip that we're presenting. It's a showtime of 7 p.m. and the length of the show is 3 hours. The bus will leave 2 p.m. from the community center in Cliffwood Beach. And children under 15 must be accompanied by an adult. So again, you can read, all this is on our website, or you can reach out to the Recreation Department, but these are some great events that we have going on. It's the beginning of our seasons to start everything, so hopefully people will want to, but I think from what I hear, most of these things are close to being sold out, but we still have spots available, so please don't reach out to go to them. A couple other updates. We are preparing and starting our cybersecurity audit with the Garden State Municipal Joint Insurance Fund. They will come through, they have to go through all of our servers and making sure that we have all our security up to date. It's part of our insurance coverage to keep our cybersecurity, so they have to make sure that we're up to date. They are starting that. Some other good news. Let me try to get it right too. A effort by the Monmouth County Office of Tourism has a shared service about marketing, and we were awarded to have to-do pads and rack cards done up, no charge to the township through the Monmouth County Tourism. So we got approved, like I said, like just nice to-do pads that we will have been giving out at different events that we have for the amount that we get. And for recreation is the rack cards, which is just going to be a front and back of all the events that we have going on for this year. So again, those can go out at our different events or at our different facilities, so people can see that besides what we already have on. But this was something that was done, that was sent to us, I think, back in the beginning of February through tourism and recreation, and John in communications has been working on that, and we just got answers yesterday about this. So it's, good news for us that we were actually looking to do some of these things, so this is a great help for us to do. Make sure I got all these in here. And also, we are working on our annual blood drive. It is tentatively scheduled for March 31st at the Community Center in Cliffwood Beach. We're just working on the times, I believe, and that will be posted on social media as soon as we get that cleared up with the blood bank. And that's everything that needs to go out. There will be an executive session, and the rest of the agenda I will go over. All right, so continuing, we have on for tonight our two ordinances from last meeting. Number 3, again, was the ordinance for the municipal budget appropriation limits and to establish the cap bank. That will be our public hearing and final adoption. And ordinance 4 is also up for public hearing and final adoption, which is to allow two cannabis facilities permitted in conditional uses in the regional commercial and one in the highway commercial zones. It was amended to be put on, even though it was publicized and have for our public meeting tonight. Once we got word that it did pass the planning board, so that's why you see it here again. And then from there, we have regular resolutions. Number 40 is authorizing the emergency temporary appropriations prior to adoption of the 2025 budget. So this is, again, we did one in January for our temporary budget, and now this will be our second to continue operations with another temporary budget. And then we have item 41 is to allow the Monmouth County Mosquito Control Division to conduct aerial mosquito control operations within the township once season begins. 42 is authorizing, and I did speak about this last meeting in the workshop, to have a shared service with Monmouth County on the Open Public Records Search System and Records Information Management Module. Again, that will be the digitizing of archiving and putting it up into our systems, or system through the county. Number 43 is authorizing municipal assistance shared service agreement between the County of Monmouth and the Township of Aberdeen, and that is to work with DPW and to use their services when needed. Number 44 is authorizing the release of performance bond for Block 183, Lot 11.01. And Resolution 45 is authorizing another shared service, and this is, again, this is our normal routine every year. Agreement with the Borough of Madawan for primary daytime emergency medical service basic life support with JFK Hackensack Meridian ambulance services. Item 46 is to authorize the shared service with the Madawan Aberdeen Regional School Board for school buses, and that is typically for, especially for our summer camp that we use our services for. And number 47 is awarding a non-fair and open contract to Powerall LLC for the purchase and installation of maintenance of electric vehicle charging stations in the township for a total amount not to exceed $39,500. And the two spots that these chargers will be at is here at Town Hall and at the Aberdeen train station. Like I said, there will be an executive session, so if there's any questions. Nothing from this side, anything from this side. Ooh, I do have one other thing, I'm sorry. Last Friday, I met with the traffic bureau and our traffic engineers, and we had a long meeting going over Prospect and Amboy, and Madawan Avenue and Cliffwood. Was there one other spot we were talking about too? And Angel Street by the firehouse going out to Route 35. So we've been having some discussions. There are some ideas that are coming to play. That the traffic engineer is working on the Madawan Avenue side just to kind of see if there's anything else that we can do there, even though that is part of the county roads. And Angel Street, we're looking at some ideas, so they went back to the drawing board to see if there's anything that we can do there. We'll bring that more once I have a better understanding from traffic engineers what we can and can't do. On Amboy Ave and Prospect, the county has come back with some ideas. Still haven't gotten approval from other county officials, but some of the ideas that they are bringing to light, and I will go over with you now, nothing is etched in stone, so please, this is just ideas that they have to get approval for, is a red light beacon on the two stop signs on Prospect Avenue, improvement of the sight triangle at Amboy Ave coming off of Highway 35, two crosswalks will be painted to slow persons, this will be happening with county approval. Two crosswalks will be painted to slow persons coming up the hill and alert them to the crossing. A possible 11-foot lanes may be implemented to squeeze traffic in theory at a tighter lane shoulder that will try to slow traffic. This would be on both sides of Amboy Avenue. Painting of small dotted white lines nearing and in the intersection that would try to give optical illusions of drivers moving fast. And additional signage on Prospect Avenue saying cross traffic does not stop. And also looking to possibly move the movement of stop lines forward on Prospect Avenue. So these are some of the softening ideas that the county has brought forward. We took this to our traffic engineers also to have them review and see if there's anything, or if they have any other ideas that we could do on that, in that intersection there. So once I have more answers from the county on that, I will get back to you guys and see where else we are with them. And then, like I said, once I have other answers for the other two intersections, I will get back as well. Now, I think of any questions.
Don't consider a blinking light, did you hear that?
Yes,
I said that last time.
but a beacon, I don't think they're not talking.
Anything that flashes that lets you know that there's an intersection instead of just an unbroken white fence when you're coming down Amboy Avenue, Amboy Road, would be extremely helpful. Because it's not just that the people from Prospect can't see, it's that they pop out. People from Amboy have no idea that they're there if you don't live there, basically.
That is on the table.
That blinking light would go a long way too. That'd be great, or a beacon, whatever, anything.
They have it on Madawan Avenue, Chief.
I like the traffic markings, that's a good idea, because right now it is completely blank, and I think that, yeah, that's good.
So they came up with, so again, some of these things, it sounds like are gonna be good, we just need the final okay and better weather. But like I said, the blinking light, they put that already on Madawan Avenue.
Yeah, because it's not apparent coming down Madawan Avenue that there's an intersection there either. On the right-hand side, you tend to look to the school, if you're coming towards the school or you're going from the front of the school. Yeah, I mean, there's one on Cambridge, it's the same thing, because you come around the corner, every blind corner that has an intersection pops out at you, that's what it, so that'd be great if we could get that everyone.
We will keep everyone informed on that. I'm sorry, so any questions on the agenda? I got a room for you on that.
Well, in addition to those safety 34 onto Van Brackle, which was brought up to us.
Yes, and myself and the chief are going to be reaching out to the DOT person because we need some more information. That wasn't clear that what they gave us, so we'll be reaching out to them because I know he's going to have to for manpower stuff, and Dwayne doesn't know much. I know it's a state road, but we need to be a little bit more
Yeah, we
informed
should.
of what's going on.
We should.
Well, if they're gonna come down and look at that, I mean, could we have them look at the timing of the light, that so it could empty Lloyd Road after Marlboro built all the apartments and condos that loaded up? Like, I know they're focused on Van Brackle probably because the school over there calls 1,500 times to every state representative. But the real problem in that area is the fact that Lloyd Road backs up all the way past every cross street, all the way to the top of the hill because their light isn't long enough. So if they're gonna come all the way out to look at Van Brackle Road, which is in front of my office and I see every day, and frankly, if you drive carefully and you're not trying to cut straight across from, as a school parent, to ride from the very expensive private school in our town, to cut across both triangles, to then jet up Van Brackle back to Hometown, I'm sitting there all day looking out the window, you really wouldn't have that many accidents if the people would observe the appropriate triangle or go around the block and up a different street back up the hill to Telegraph Hill and Homedale from that school, because I've seen 2 cars flip trying to do that. The real problem with that for our residents in that area is the fact that the traffic backs up all the way almost to 79 at this point on Lloyd Road. So if the DOT is going to trek all the way down here to look at parents from a private school that can't drive, then they should come and look at the intersection where half of our, 10% of our town sits at a traffic light for 4 cycles every day. They come out of the FNW sections. I think that, sorry, I don't need to be flippant about it, but that's amazing because we've been calling them forever. Whatever, it is what it is.
I just want to add
I'll
something.
talk to our state representative.
I just want to add something to that. With the new light that's going to be going in on Lloyd Road up by the F section, and I can attest to this because it happened to me when they put the light on Wilson Avenue, the traffic now will change completely. The backup will be unbelievable because once that light turns red, that will affect the traffic immensely. It'll affect the traffic going towards Marlboro. They'll be backing up on the highway. So they, just if you would remember to just mention that, Brian, if you get a chance, because it looks like it's almost ready to go. I don't know when it's going to be turned on, but it's pretty close.
Yep.
So like the other thing is the Q lane to turn from Lloyd Road onto 34, like we'll happily designate it as a township, no left turn onto Overley, so that you can cue the cars to go left, so that you don't have to sit in a line of cars going straight that can't turn right, and then if you really follow the traffic rules, not drive over the yellow lines that are at Overley, and you could queue 4 times as many cars if it was no left turn onto Overley, and the people who live on Overley, look, there's be a few that wouldn't want to go around the block, but generally you can just send them down to, Oxford, and then back up the cut-through street, right back to their house. It's not really that much of an inconvenience to the people that live there to have no left turn onto Overley, which we have speed bumps on the road anyway, because we don't want people cutting through. So that has made sense to me since 2012, since I stood out there with our state representatives and all the people that came down to town. It was great. Helped traffic in town tremendously. But it's been 13 years that they've never gotten the timing of that light correct, to the detriment of the beggar of his neighbors in the F section, the W section, and now that Marlboro built all those condos down there, not the way to the Parkway, it's totally unbearable for anyone who lives on board in the W section
Well,
anyway.
you bring up an excellent point, because that's exactly what County Engineer Vittori told me recently. He says, when your council is ready to make no left turn onto...
So it's today. I mean, we told them the last time they paved that intersection that we would make it a no left turn, because they restriped the whole thing for the second time since 2012, and then they put it right back the same way it was. And then it's even worse now that Marlboro Ohad Associates opened up that thing they won in the lawsuit against Marlboro. It's just, because that's the way of the Parkway.
Yeah.
So it's a nightmare.
Yeah, because
So if they're gonna drive all the way out to look at an uncontrolled intersection at Van Brackle,
two-lane road.
let's walk them 500 feet up the road to something that affects like 10-15% of our residents up there. That's the way I see it.
We'd like to instruct our town manager to talk to the PD and safety and traffic person about,
Anything. It's been 13 years of sitting on the road, but anything.
because in the
you have two lanes to get through Road Road on the 34, yes.
Left turn, right turn, straight. So if we do that, we'll have some, terrific.
So,
Keep our fingers crossed, again, for the fourth time.
Dwayne is here, he has some presentation. I know we've been talking about this, and we said that for this meeting, we would show you what everything would look like, but, we talked about our street signs and cross signs, so he has two here to show you what we have currently, and then what we hopefully can turn into.
Okay, thank you for allowing me, Mayor and Council. I know I spoke to you last meeting concerning our street signs and not having cross streets, and also the size and the amount of material we use to make our current street signs. So, this is our current street sign. If you drive down 34, you drive down 35, you drive down any county highway, and there's a traffic light, and you see it hanging up there, this is what's hanging there. This is what we're currently using as our street signs. It takes two signs to make one sign. And there's no cross street. When you get a minute, you might want to feel the weight of that, how much material we're using. Since I've been here for going on 4 years now, when I first got here, it was a little bit difficult for me because we have no cross streets. We just have one, i.e. Darwin Way. When you go to Darwin Way, you'll just see that. You won't see the cross street. This is what I'm proposing to the town, to put up signs that read the cross street. So as someone not from the town, someone traveling through the town, someone looking to move into the town can find their way around our beautiful town. One sign per street, less material, less weight. The reason why we don't use the crosses now is due to the size of the signs. If I put that sign on this with a cross street, with the wind that we had the past couple of days, the top sign on every one would bend, and I would have to replace it. I also spoke to the town manager. From a cost standpoint, it will save us money, but in the beginning and changing out, we're gonna have to take some signs down. I would be requesting from the mayor and council to put a resolution together to allow the DPW to recycle the signs. We won't put them in to the bin and let some random company come in here and take them, divide them out, and get paid for aluminum. You got copper, aluminum, two of the top metals. We would take them, we would recycle them, put the money back into the budget for our next year's signs. And we would just take our time throughout the town. I'm not looking to increase the budget at all. I would take the sign budget that I have this year, start, put the money back in, do it again, and we'll just work through the town in small sections. But I think from a standpoint of just basically what they look like, this looks a lot better than what we're currently using. It's legible to everybody. I believe you wouldn't have a problem seeing that. So it's just, I told you I would do it. I just wanted to make sure I brought it so that you could see it. It's up to you guys. Anybody wants to take a look and fill the signs, any of the residents here wants to see the difference in what it is, more than welcome, I'll be here. Most of the residents here are lifelong residents, so they know where all the streets are, but someone traveling through our town might not. So, thank you for your time.
Thank you. Great point.
Great, it's just saying.
Yes, sir.
Like the letters are the same size, it's just.
The letters are the same exact size.
Okay, well, that's-
And I also made the letters, instead of them being that thin, I made the letters bolder. I made the letters themselves thicker. So it would be, again, a little more legible. You know, to spread it out on the sign, I make the letters a little bit bigger, which makes them thinner. So,
I think that's easier to read, I like
I think the one you already did looks better.
it. Yeah.
thank
me
you.
too.
Absolutely. I think it looks better, and I think it's a better image for the township.
Thank you.
Thank you for your time.
Well done, sir.
Thank you. Okay, now I'm definitely done.
Okay, you're all definitely done, and no questions from the dais. I would like to take a motion to go into
Second.
Good, excellent. All in favor?
Aye.
This meeting is being held in conformance with the Open Public Meeting Act. Notice was given to the newspapers and record, posted in the municipal building, and filed with the township clerk. The next open public meeting of this township council will be held on Thursday, March 20th, 2025 at 7:30. Roll call, please.
Councilman Cannon.
Here.
Councilman Hirsch.
Here.
Councilwoman Kelly.
Here.
Councilman Martucci.
Here.
Councilman Sedan.
Here.
Deputy Mayor Montal.
Here.
Yeah, thank you very much. We all please rise for a moment of silence and salute our great flag. Again, we always keep in mind men and women in uniform who protect us here on our soil and foreign soils around the world to allow us to meet like this. At this time, I'd like to give you a moment for your own personal intentions that you might have. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you all. Okay, at this point, I'd like to follow the agenda and open it to the hearing of the citizens on agenda items only, which is what's on your printed paper. New business will be later on in the meeting. So if anybody has any comments about an agenda item, please come forward now. Just introduce yourself and we'll listen to what you have to say. Okay, not seeing anyone, and we, Mr. Manager, do you have any other reports? That's enough. Okay. Police Chief Lloyd, any comments tonight on anything?
While we were just discussing the Pledge of Allegiance tomorrow night at the New Jersey Devils game, the Aberdeen Police Honor Guard will be presenting the colors for the Star Spangled Banner. So, tune into MSG tomorrow night. We get to see our guys out there presenting colors.
Great job. Excellent. Any council member with any reports they'd like to give?
So, pleasure attending Councilman Hirsch at Temple Betham's Casino night the other night. It's always a good time. We hung out with the rabbi. They have mulligans and craps because it's not real money, which was a blast. I mean, I don't know if you ever played craps and mulligans, but it makes the game a lot more fun and easier to win by like 2 full, I believe. And we had a really good time. It was a good dinner. We had a great night, and it's always good to see people. I mean, there's people that have gone to that temple for a long time, and you kind of like run into people you haven't seen in a while, which was a lot of fun. And Artie and I got home safe, which was also good.
And I want to thank Councilman Candy. For those of you who know me, know that I play cards. Okay? I prefer poker. Okay? I don't play a lot of the casino games, although Councilman Cannon did teach me, and I played for the very first time in my life, craps. And I won without a mulligan.
Created a monster. Created a monster, Councilman. Terrific. Anyone on this side? Nothing? Good. All right. Very good. So we'll close that out. We'll go to agenda item number 7. And we need a motion, please.
Many Tagliarini have been made, Montone and my fellow council members, I'd like to make a motion to accept the minutes of the workshop, regular, and executive meeting from February 20th, 2025.
Second. Councilman Cannon.
Yes.
Councilman Hirsch.
Yes.
Councilwoman Kelly.
Yes.
Councilman Martucci.
Yes.
Councilman Sedan.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Montal.
Yes.
Mayor Taylor.
Yes, thank you very much. Ordinance 3-2025, introduced and passed on first reading by title on February 20th, 2025, and published according to law, is not being taken up for further consideration in public hearing. Affidavit of publication in the Asbury Park Press on February 26th, 2025 will be submitted. During the week prior to and up to and including the date of this meeting, Copies of the full ordinance were available at no cost to the general public upon request. Madam Clerk.
Ordinance to exceed the municipal budget appropriation limits and establish a cap bank.
Now I'd like to open the meeting to the public for remarks for or against the final adoption of this ordinance. Comments or remarks, if any? Okay, not seeing any, I'm going to ask Councilman Swindell for a motion.
The mayor, deputy mayor, and my fellow council members, I'd like to make a motion that ordinance number 3, 2025 be finally passed and adopted, excuse me, and that notice of its passage and adoption be published by title in the March 12, 2025 issue of the Asbury Park Press.
Second.
Councilman Cannon.
Yes.
Councilman Hirsch.
Yes.
Councilman Conley.
Yes.
Councilman Martucci.
Yes.
Councilman Swindell.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Montal.
Yes.
Mayor Taylor.
Yes, thank you very much. Ordinance 4-2025 introduced and passed on first reading by title on February 20th, 2025, and published according to law, is now being taken up for further consideration and public hearing. Affidavit of publication in the Asbury Park Press on February 26, 2025 will be submitted during the week prior to and up to and including the date of this meeting. Copies of the full ordinance were available at no cost to the general public upon request. Madam Clerk.
An ordinance of the Township of Aberdeen amending and supplementing Chapter 25 of the Township Code to permit one licensed cannabis retail facility as a permanent conditional use in the regional commercial, and one licensed cannabis retail facility as a permitted conditional use in the highway commercial zoning districts and amending other sections of the chapter consistent therewith.
Thank you. Now I'd like to open the meeting to the public for remarks or comments for or against the final adoption of this ordinance. Good evening.
Good evening, Kizzy Osborne, County Road, Cliffwood. Good to see you, Mayor. Good to see you, Council.
Good seeing you.
Everybody's the same up here. I just have a quick comment. I heard what the Chamber of Comments said about jobs. I don't think that these dispensaries offer jobs to our youth. We've had a couple of dispensaries popping up. And coming from the school board education system in this town, we do have a substance abuse high school. So I feel that looking at businesses in our town, we need to be mindful of what we're promoting to our children, our youth. We don't really see our children outside in the parks anymore. Children vape a lot. Personally, as a parent, I've experienced that with my child as well. It's easy accessible. It's in elementary schools as young as Lloyd Road, our middle schools. We can only take children in high school as far as those substance abuses is concerned. I just want us to be more mindful of the businesses that we're bringing to the township. The same way how we had this whole publication about the methadone clinic, right? We can't have something that we're trying to help and diminish, and just because it's illegal, it's not legal to our youth. So just be mindful. All money is not good money. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Well said. Any other comments for or against the adoption of this ordinance tonight? Not seeing any. I'm going to ask Councilman Hirsch. Might be a busy night tonight.
Yes, Mayor Tagliani, Deputy Mayor Montalvo, council members would like to make a motion that ordinance 4-2025 be finally passed and adopted, and that the notice of its passage and adoption be published by title in the March 12, 2025 issue of the Asbury Park Press.
Second.
Councilman Cannon.
Yes.
Councilman Hirsch.
Yes.
Councilwoman Kelly.
Yes.
Councilman Martucci.
Yes.
Councilman Swindell.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Montal.
Yes.
Mayor Taylor.
Yes, thank you very much. And I'd like a motion for number 9, please.
Mayor Tagliani and fellow council members, I would like to make a motion to approve resolution number 2025-40.
Second.
Councilman Cannon.
Yes.
Councilman Hirsch.
Yes.
Councilwoman Kelly.
Yes.
Councilman Martucci.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Yes, thank you very much. And finally, a motion please for 9B.
Mayor and fellow council members, I'd like to make a motion to adopt the consent agenda, which consists of resolutions 2025-41 through 2025-47.
Second.
Councilman Campbell.
Yes.
Councilman Rowland.
Yes.
Councilwoman Yelsey.
Yes.
Councilman Martucci.
Yes.
Councilman Smith.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, thank you very much. Now I'd like to open this to agenda number 10, which is the hearing of the citizens. Any item, new business, any type of correspondence, just please come up to the microphone and just give us who you might be.
Well, Mayor and Council, my name is Frank Huza. I am the retired chair, retired for 12 years now from the Environmental Board. And with me is a
Not so retired.
not so retired member of the Environmental Board. One of the things that has happened over the past several years, we've made an incredible progress since Mrs. Adeline Arnold put the seeds of recycling into Aberdeen Township. Myself and another member of the Environmental Board at the time had showed the council where the township could make $40,000 from recycling. Now, over time, under the leadership of Kathy Morello, every single resident in town got a beautiful green Aberdeen Recycles can. Mrs. Morello is now comfortably retired. We have a new recycling coordinator, and we have an incredible amount of new residents who have no idea what to do. Everybody's on the internet, but nobody's going to the township site to see what's recycling. I have neighbors, new neighbors, moving from Brooklyn, Staten Island, wherever they're from. The former residents, the movers, took the cans with them. So we know it's been posted that you can go to the DPW and ask for a can. But they don't know the rules and responsibilities. One of the things that I personally see is people throwing out boxes, corrugated cardboard. So I did some research when I've been sitting in on a couple of meetings just as an observer, and according to the Monmouth County Recycling Coordinator, the Mazza Recycling, who we probably use, is paying $70 a ton for loose cardboard, which is the stuff that we're throwing out. Now, the tipping fees at the Monmouth County Reclamation Facility, or the county dump, is now up to $115 a ton. So I just got a new Amazon box in the mail today, measured it. It takes 1,300 boxes, the size I got, to make a ton. And I don't know how many residents we have. You know, everybody gets a box every day, and some people more. So one of the things that we're doing is you have the cost and then the opportunity cost. So it's costing us $180 a ton for people to throw out the recyclables, and we're not getting the funds for it. So I did ask the members of the board who haven't had the opportunity to meet with our current recycling coordinator, has the township, what is the recycling rate, and how are we doing year over year? So I would hope that there's some indication of how much we're recycling, and is it getting better or is it getting worse? So that is my question.
Well, the first thing we're going to do is make sure that our recycling coordinator gets your organization's reports that we're getting. Okay, so let's not make this the best kept secret in the town. So we'll get that to you, Frank.
Okay.
And
Well, we did, I can tell you, Councilman Hirsch and I worked with Kathy on, like we were in the committee of the contract. The green cans, because you can't get them anywhere, and it shames people essentially into recycling, and all your neighbors have out, it doubled our recycling participation rate. the year after we handed them out.
Wow.
I don't know, I didn't check, that was a number of years ago, I think it's like 7 years ago now. So we didn't check for the next contract, we could definitely figure that out. I suspect it looked like this.
Right.
So it's not like something you have to maintain.
Sure.
Maybe from your end, it's the other way, temporarily, sorry about that.
Sure.
But yeah, I suspect it slides backwards, because I see less green cans out. Artie and I were riding around looking for them when we first bought them, right? So we were like, oh, we bought this, spent a bunch of money, we hope people use them. And they were everywhere, and it actually doubled our recycling rate at that time, Captain calculated it.
Right.
We could definitely look into what it is, or we could pass them out again, we have a bunch, don't we?
Oh, listen, when my neighborhood turned over, you know that, where I live.
Sure.
We got a lot of new homes. And what my husband and I did is we went down to the yard and we got enough new recycling bins for our new neighbors. And we knocked on every door and introduced ourselves and gave them a recycling bin and told them all about the calendar and what they need to recycle. And they all do. So,
that's great.
Sometimes just being a good neighbor and letting people know what we offer is
Sure.
enough.
Yeah.
So,
The other thing is Kathy also did, at the same time that we did the green cans, remember we had the handout? Because you were putting it in plastic bag, yes, remember? Because then the cans were red. So like we have these materials, like she did this
and people
at the
use
time.
it. Yeah.
And it doubled the rate, I remember what it was double the tonnage.
Sure.
With like the first year.
Okay.
So usually, and I know everybody's privy to this information, I'm Kizzy Osborne. Paul's no longer with us, right? So Paul was spearheading these things, very wise, after Frank, bringing a lot of information to the table. He's no longer with us. So we were kind of flying blind as to see.
I saw
So
Andrew
we-
email me last, did Andrew take over?
So Andrew is taken over. Andrew is employed. However, he doesn't have the knowledge like Paul.
Yeah,
He doesn't have the,
there's no institutional memory within the environmental board.
no. And like I said, we had Lindsay. So Andrew stepped up to take over. However, he has a full-time job. His job is equipped. We don't want to see the board go under. So somebody stepped up to do it. We don't have participation from anybody on the board. I know Ms. Montone had came to a couple of our meetings, but our recycling coordinator doesn't come. People from Clean Communities does not come. We don't get reports like we used to get. So if we don't have any information, we can't give information out to the public, and we're not receiving information in. So whereas we used to receive information as far as what's going up in the township, what trees are being planted and things like that, which also we were talking about a tree ordinance, we didn't get the heads up or feedback, hey, what do you guys think about this? It was just adopted and created, we were still doing our own thing as far as that's concerned, and the township already went ahead and adopted whatever they thought we should have, which we disapproved of. And I believe that Lindsay sent something out to Brian. I can't speak for her, but I believe there's an email there about the tree ordinance. So I just feel like we don't want this to go under like the green team. We do want to still have, our recycling and, shade tree advisory board. So I feel like we need more support from the township to be able to help us navigate to these things. Our budget is minimal. I mean, it's been the same budget for the last 9 years, and of course, everything went up. So we're kind of constrained on doing things. We do things out of pocket. Nobody's looking to get rich over here. We're all volunteers. Thank God for Frank coming back in and really, no.
Sure, absolutely.
He's been helping us navigate, and like I said, having two of our chairs step down, and Andrew, like I said, stepping up, and he doesn't have a background like how Paul did in navigating things, but we're still here, and we need to have a voice, on the websites. We need to have a voice within the township and doing things, not just on Aberdeen Day, because we do participate in doing other things.
Yeah.
So
one of the things that I had suggested to the board, that we would petition the council to include a little column on your semi-annual newsletter. Like here, I mean, you've done that in the past, but to have it, dollars and cents, like, last year we got, $50,000 in
Yeah.
whatever grants, or, shame your neighbor and, say, hey, that box is costing us,
And you know
$180.
what? It's not just neighbors. We have a lot of businesses here that don't recycle. I went through the same thing in a school board, going, which I got into with the director because of operations, because we were not recycling like we were supposed to, and he thought we were just supposed to recycle cardboard. But if nobody is telling the new businesses that you need to recycle, LA Fitness still doesn't recycle, and there's a lot of plastic bottles that goes in that garbage can when I'm at the gym. They still don't recycle. So who is policing our new businesses coming into town when these are things that can be done to produce money,
Save
be
money.
green, save money? It's not being done. So,
Well, thank you very much.
Thank you.
There is just
Frank.
a non-environmental board.
No, thanks for
Thank you.
connecting this.
Yeah, thanks.
We saw
So-
the different leaders, like
Yeah.
multiple ones that you guys.
In February of 2024, I saw an ad in the Asbury Park Press that the State Department of Transportation was doing a survey on Route 34 from Route 537 all to its terminus in Old Bridge. And I wrote to, I talked to some of you perhaps. I wrote our representatives, our state assembly people, our state senator, and I wrote a letter to the chair of the NJDOT, and I haven't heard anything. Not that there was going now. Right now, from Marlboro through Homedale, from Homedale through Marlboro, through Aberdeen, all the way up to Old Bridge, there are survey markers all along the road. So something's going on. Is that the Route 34 survey, or is that maybe for a new water or gas line? Does anyone know?
Well, what you're making reference to is the same information that we have, unless our police department has heard something from the state. It went dark. This was a repaving from, as you say, Eatontown up to Mattawan.
Right.
And we're still waiting for it. So those markings could have been road markings. Frank, I don't know exactly what those road markings are for, but that land went dark.
Oh,
So,
okay. Thank you.
It's a shame, because it would have been fantastic getting repaved.
Okay.
On 34, so.
So, yeah.
They're talking about expanding 34 south of us.
Oh, yeah.
That's the biggest part of the project, is like, when you ride down 34?
Oh, sure.
How do you actually leave our town? And then the houses are set pretty far back from the highway. It's because the highway right of way is a lot bigger than you think it is.
Right.
And there's a lot of traffic down there, and there's a lot of building down there.
Oh, yeah.
So they're going to, I understand they're going to put utility lines and all sorts of stuff, and it's largely going to be an issue for a lot of people that live in Homedale that have a nice dark backyard right now, but might not when they put up light poles on the, because that right of way goes almost all the way back to those people's fences.
Oh.
It's like, because it's a state highway.
Oh, yeah,
right?
sure.
And if you go to but our town already has the 2 lanes, my understanding is, I looked into this because a resident of ours who works in one of those towns asked me about whether, what was going to happen. He lives here, he works there, but he lives here, he goes in down there. They're very concerned about quality of life issues, because it's very dark on 34 South.
Oh, yeah.
Right now,
That's right.
after you get past our town, but it might not be in the future based on, but we don't have any final plans or anything, but I did check on that, and there aren't massive poles or new things going up here, as far as Brian and I could look into and tell. But we're keeping an eye on it, but we're already pretty much built out the full right of way.
Right.
But then as you keep driving, the road gets narrower, but actually the state's right to build it doesn't.
Sure.
And so my understanding is that for the town south of us, this might be but that project might be a much bigger issue.
Yeah,
Than it would be, we already have the commercial district running straight.
Of course.
down anyway.
Right. Well, and especially at the junction, once Bell Works reopened, the junction of Roberts Road and Route 34 is a mess. So.
There's a number of those intersections down there.
Oh, yeah.
Not just 537, that's out there.
520. Oh, there's, yeah, you're right. Right.
Yeah, no, 537, down by Huddy's.
Oh, yeah, that was
That was the last choke point, and I think, so ours was the choke point at ShopRite, and theirs was the choke point down there. It's only, you
Sure.
gave me the book 12 years ago, you remember?
Oh, yeah.
Suburban sprawl.
Oh, sure.
And so like,
Oh,
you got
yeah.
a big intersection here, you got a big
Yeah,
intersection here.
absolutely,
It don't matter, it's not
yeah.
gonna have these things for the people that live in Far
So,
Country between
great.
us. But
So I thank you very much on that, and I have just one last, and I'll keep it short. Aberdeen Township, as well as all of Monmouth County, has an issue with an invasive pest called the emerald ash borer. Trees that Adeline Arnold had placed in the divider strip of the B section, and we used a variety of species to avoid having a monoculture just collapse. So emerald ash borers, which has been in the eastern United States for about the last 10 years, we expect every single ash tree in the township to die. So the DPW has been kind enough in prior years to cut down some of the ash trees that were infected, and there's no cure. You can't kill these bugs, and they just kill the tree. There's nothing on it. So we have some trees, one on public property that I'll let the DPW know about, that needs to be removed. But one of the things that we have within the township, a lot of people don't know an ash tree from a hole in the wall. They don't know if they have a maple, an oak, or an ash. And one of the things that I think would be appropriate for the environmental board to spearhead would be an education program for residents to discuss emerald ash borers, and also because of warming, the township of Aberdeen, and I had this happen at my own house, southern pine beetles are now infecting pine trees, and especially white pine trees in Aberdeen Township. And I had, so if you see a big old white pine tree that the crown is no longer thriving, chances are it's a southern pine beetle that is now just underneath there and just killing the trees. So if you go to the place, let's say go for a walk at Cheesequake State Park, and over by Perrine Pond, when you just see hundreds, I think that's a good thing, hundreds of pine trees that are standing up dead or just falling over in these winds. That's some of the things that we have. And again, there is no cure. Southern pine beetles will ravage most of the pine trees, so we have some issues here. And one of the things that I will do in future environmental board meetings is to have the leadership of the environmental board ask the council, and perhaps the social media gurus here in town, to put something on the website to identify what that is, and just to let the public know what it is. But I will directly reach out to the director of Public Works to inform him about this particular tree that's, yes.
So I just.
Pardon? Yes, Mark.
Yes, I just wanted to say one thing about that. First of all, are you recommending that people who have ash trees take them down? Is that what the recommendation is?
Only if it is a hazard, and a hazard tree has to have a target. So if the ash tree is in the middle of the forest, you're fine. But if the ash tree is next to a sidewalk where it can fall on kids going to school, that's a hazard.
Okay.
So
The other thing I wanted to say is that, every month there's a newspaper all around Mattawa, Aberdeen that comes out, and if you had something, maybe a concise piece, we might be able to put it under our headline and make that our piece for the month, so that gets delivered to, I think.
every residence,
So,
yeah.
and we don't pay for that, it's something that
Sure.
would not cost us any money, but it would be a start. Would you be able to put?
Well, I'd reach out to the Department of Shade Tree, to Monmouth County Shade Tree Department,
Okay.
for guidance on that, and they would probably be able to provide me with something that we could reach out to the public.
Mr. Russell?
Thank you. Well, first off, the director is right behind us, he's here at every meeting.
We-
so
we're-
hopefully
we're-
you don't know, it's
We know each other, yes. He's been incredibly helpful. So, kudos.
Couple more things. We have not put them out this year yet because there's been a change in our communications division and our public information officer, but in our new homeowners packet, we do put all of our recycling information in there. So the new homeowners, as soon as we get a list from the zoning office saying that, hey, we have a new CO for a new resident, we would usually mail them out to them. We have not mailed anything out so far this year because John has just taken over and he is getting his self acclimated with the whole PIO information that we want to do here, and that's on one of his to-do lists to revamp our
The welcome package.
welcome packet. Thank you.
You're welcome.
The next part, Dwayne, I think you need to probably answer some of those questions that were asked, because I think you probably have some of that knowledge. I also, just so you two know, I have reached out to Andrew, now knowing that he was taking over for Lindsay, because Lindsay and I were having conversations, and then she had to step down.
Well, no, she's on maternity leave, so that's temporary.
No, it's not.
Oh, and she had to recuse herself? Oh, okay.
Can't talk about that, but yes.
Yeah, thank you.
He's not here. But I did reach out to Andrew, and hopefully we will get together, because my request was that we try to find some time to go over what's going on and for more communication that way, because you're right, since Paul left, and a little bit with Lindsay, but again, she was trying to juggle a lot of things too. Communication between the environmental board and offices here have not been the greatest, because we all know Paul lived, breathed everything, and it was wonderful. So I mean, everything was always coming through from him, and what messages, how to get to public information. So I'm hoping that once me, Andrew, and the deputy manager can sit down, we can put that plan back in place so information starts flowing a little better, because that's the problem that I'm seeing right now.
Thank you very much.
But I want to let Dwayne, if you don't mind, Mayor, have the mic, because I think he can answer some of the other questions that's out there.
First of all, I thank you guys for your zeal for recycling. The 2024 report is currently being done, but just for knowledge, 2022, we collected 22,598 tons. 2023, we collected 25,870 tons, which is about a 3,300 ton increase over the years. You did speak to the fact that Mazda is getting $77 a ton for cardboard.
That they're paying.
That they're paying. Not, the town gets none of that. So when you put your cardboard out and it goes to Mazda, Mazda gets that money. What we're getting out of recycling currently, which is a great thing, is grant money. So when we send this tonnage report to the state, they give us a grant. 50,000, 30,000, 40,000, whatever. I actually made a proposal to the council just a week ago. So that $77 a ton that you are talking about, I propose that we do our own. Residents bring their cardboard, bottles, cans, metal, they bring all of that down to the DPW yard at 147 Lennox Road. And what do? I let Mazda take it, I let Roselli take it, and they take it, they dump it on the ground, they separate it out, and they get money for it. Why? So we're gonna change some things. I will get the $50,000 in grant money, and I'll take that $77 a ton that Mazda's putting in their pocket and put it back in this township. That's the plan for recycling. I will be more than happy to give you my information. I will try to make myself more readily available to you to attend some of the meetings. I am the Clean Communities Coordinator too.
Okay.
I'm currently getting my recycling license also. We do have a recycling coordinator, but she will continue to deal with that. As far as the trees within town, we are still Tree City USA. I continue to work with Columbia Bank, who donates a tree to us every year that we put in one of our local parks. I did know that the prior person did deal with, I'm not sure because I didn't have the information, he dealt with someone who actually did a seedling giveaway.
We have to have an Arbor Day celebration to keep our tree in a safe location.
It's already scheduled. It's already scheduled. I have the flag and everything.
Monday, we don't.
But if I can possibly get some information from you, or we can possibly work together to find out who was giving out the seedlings to the residents that they could just come pick up.
So they discontinued the.
They discontinued, okay, all right. The reports that you asked for and any questions that you have, I'll give you my number, my email address, cell phone number, give me a call. And also, I am working along with the public information officer with the Clean Communities Funds, also to put out some additional publications about recycling, as well as what we can do to keep our town a little neater.
We have a meeting link also on the Eagles Walk.
I got that. Got that too. All right? Thank you.
Very good, thank
Hey,
you so much.
Mr. Rhodes, can we finish that thought? So the other thing is, that's the money we get, but every ton of recycling is a ton that I like your 180 hour analysis, so like, the Dwayne didn't finish doing her step, but like, well, we have to haul it ourselves, so right now they haul it away, and then we give them the money, but we're gonna buy a hook lift. Dwayne has worked out the numbers that we can get a hook lift truck and make it pay for itself relatively quickly by taking it down there and getting the $77. And then by encouraging people to participate more, that's where we saw the biggest savings. We handed out the green cans, is the tons of garbage we paid to get rid of went down. Not in direct correlation to the amount of recycling, but it was clear that people were throwing out recycling before and now they're not. And we weren't paying the 115 either. So I like your point that it's a double credit bonus. Like it's a zero-sum game, I guess is what you're saying.
If I may, Councilman Campbell. I understood that the contract with our recycling hauler was that we paid for them to pick it up, but we owned everything inside the truck.
That was the letter. They don't do that. My understanding is that the last contract round, because of the declining recycling rates, and China closed on the recycling going
That's
there,
true, right.
then it greatly depressed the market, where that was the deal 2 contracts ago.
okay.
The contract after that was a discounted rate, and in this last contract, my understanding is they basically just haul it, and in return, we give them the money.
Oh.
So the market for recyclables is declining.
That's correct, right.
And
Yeah.
the shutting of China to the sorting and stuff, and the
Absolutely.
stream really changed the sanitation contracts that we were getting, and forced the kind of like, hey, let's put out green cans so everyone does it anyway kind of thing. But now this is, Dwayne's not like, well, wait, maybe, market moves this way, we move with it. That's what we're trying to do.
Thank you very much.
Anyone else would like to come up and give us some correspondence, or whatever thoughts are on their minds? Okay, not seeing, I'm going to ask our attorney for the executive session motion, please.
Whereas the Open Public Meeting Act permits the exclusion of the public from a meeting in certain circumstances, whereas the public body is of the opinion that such circumstances presently exist, and whereas the governing body wishes to discuss contractual personnel, minutes will be kept in once a manner involving confidentiality of no longer required confidentiality, and the minutes can be made public. Now therefore be it resolved that the public be excluded from the meeting and continued. Motion, somebody?
I'll make the motion.
Second. All in favor?
Aye. Okay, as the manager said, we will be going into executive